Welcome to the Insurance Marketing Brain Dump. This is Keagan with BriteBee.com, where we help insurance agents get found online. And I've got Chris Paradiso here with Paradiso Insurance and Paradiso Presents, where they help insurance agents. What do you do, Chris?
Be found online. Welcome, Brain Dump.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Well, let's get started here. So we are still at the Dallas, Germania, Paradiso Presents workshop. And I think I said that backwards.
It's all good.
But we're having a great time learning a lot. I think our agents are learning a lot. They're engaging. But I think we're also taking quite a bit away from this as well.
Absolutely.
So let's just jump into it. The question that I want to brainstorm here is, how many call to actions can we have? And maybe we can tell a little bit about how this question came about.
Yeah, yesterday we had several agents talk about call to actions and how can we be actively not just sitting back, but active in generating and driving people not only to our website, but how do we get them from our website into our office, right?
Right.
And so the call to action question came up, and what did we do? We basically took probably about an hour, because there are so many call to actions, whether it's a website, whether it's social media, right? We dove into social media and talked about some call to action plans, such as Facebook ad pages, campaigns, and things of that sort.
So let's just dive into this. So I just want to list all the different calls to actions that we could have as insurance agents. And I don't think we think about how many call to actions could we have on our website? How many call to actions could we have in our email campaigns and just in our overall emails that we send out every day? And one of the things we talked about was, hey, look, everything that you do, ask yourself, do I have a call to action? Even if it's just an email saying, hey, this is what you need to understand about claims, or whatever it may be. Do we have a call to action where we give the customer the opportunity to respond or to engage?
I think the key question is when we talk about that is keeping an open mind that we have to be marketing all the time. And it's interesting. I think it depends on where we're at or what type of agency we're with, but some people think that it's too many call to actions is too aggressive. And I can assure you, where I'm from, I don't think there's ever too many call to actions. From the time they land on your website to the time they go to, whether it's the classic auto insurance page, there needs to be a contact form. There needs to be a call to action on every single page on your agency website. Mm-hmm. Just like there needs to be a call to action plan and strategy set with your emails, no?
Yeah.
What good does it do to send out an email prospecting with no call to action plan?
Right. And I think a lot of people, they say, well, I don't want to be spammy. I don't want to harass people. And there are definitely ways where you don't have to do that. But
I agree. But how about yesterday? A young man in the front row said, we were talking about pop-ups. And right. We were just showing our agency website, and with the pop-up, and hi, I'm Chris Paradiso. I'm the owner of the agency. Welcome to our website. If there's anything we can do for you, please feel free to contact me. First thing he says is, why don't we have a contact form right there? Get a quote or get a free quote. I can't remember what he said. And I was like, wow, he's like going right for the jugular. I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not my style, but I love the fact that people are starting to think we have to go for the jugular. There's a lot of competition in our industry.
Right. All right. So let's start with websites. I want to think about all the call to actions so that insurance agents can just start thinking about all the different ways
Sure.
they could have call to actions on their page. So let's talk about the normal ones. First off, get a quote. Of course, that's call to action.
And hopefully we don't say get a free quote, because that's irritating.
That is irritating.
Of course,
Every
they're free.
Quote is free at this moment. Okay, so we've got get a quote. We have a phone number at the top right.
Always.
We have
right.
contact form.
And please make sure you're not putting your 800 number. If you're going to put your 800 number, put it underneath your local number. Google loves local.
Mm-hmm.
So leave your local phone number first in the top right-hand corner. And then if you really want to use an 800 number, put it below.
Yeah.
Or put it on another page on your website.
So what about like an email opt-in campaign, or not a campaign, what am I trying to say?
Brain dump.
I know, right. It's only, 7 this morning, so we started a little bit early here. So capturing emails, we can capture emails.
You can do that multiple ways, though, right?
Right.
We could go and you could hire an intern and scrape websites. For example, something we do. If we're looking for electricians and we're going to do an electricians campaign, what are we going to do? We're going to Google electricians in our area, and we're going to go right to their website and scrape their emails and put them into an email campaign, whether it's MailChimp or HubSpot.
Okay, so you're doing that. So one of the things, we want to have a call to action, but we also want on a website, we want to make sure that we have relevant content to those types of people.
And relevant emails.
Right.
I mean, how many people are out there buying email lists? And in today's time, I mean, I could be wrong, but when I've talked to these email lists, I'm interested. You know, they'll tell you 20-30% of them are probably either closed or inaccurate, meaning they're irrelevant because they're not active emails.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got the website, and there's probably plenty other call to actions, such as, looking
Pop-ups.
at a blog.
Blogging.
We have pop-ups. We have, what about chat? A chat feature.
Absolutely.
So instant messaging.
How about response IQ that we
Yeah.
have? It's a call to action plan. It's basically a button. People type in their phone number. Within 27 seconds, they're connected with our agency. So when we talk about call to action strategy, I think we have to be hitting people in multiple areas, right? It's
Yep.
kind of like a boxer.
Yep.
A couple jabs to the body, a couple jabs to the head, right?
Yep.
Got to keep moving, and keep it fresh. Keeping those call to action strategies, multiple different ways, from phone call to email to chat.
Right. And these can be done tastefully.
Sure.
It's not that you just list a whole bunch of call to actions on your page. So we've got the call to actions on the website, and probably some more. So let's talk about social media.
Sure.
Let's talk about the call to actions that we could have within social media.
Well, one of the biggest topics right now is chat right there. Facebook has its own chat. You can, HubSpot, when you buy a tool like a social tool like that, you can have a chat in there. There's multiple different avenues that you can purchase chats that will be a call to action. So if somebody's actually liking one of your posts on your agency page, you can continue, or making a comment, you can continue that conversation without you really being there. The chat will do it for you. It is a call to action. I'm not going to tell you we've dabbled with it. We've dabbled with it for the past year and a half. There's times we like it and there's times we don't like it. But at Paradiso, we're so focused on customer experience, we felt that the chat wasn't ready for us to give that ultimate experience. So for somebody who has no social presence and who's just starting, it might be something that might be necessary so you can get activity and get movement on your Facebook page.
Yeah. So let's talk about the call to actions that we have in our content. A lot of the times we post things that have no call to action whatsoever. We're we're telling people about what we're doing. We're telling them about the charity that we've been a part of, or whatever it may be. But what are some call to actions that we can still have in those?
Well, you can have multiple. If you're doing a charitable event, why would you not have a donate button right there? I mean, your goal is to drive people to understand the cause of that charity. Why not help it with a donate button? First and foremost, as easy as it is, right?
But they say, well, Chris, that doesn't really help me and what I'm trying to do. I would disagree. What would you say?
Wholeheartedly disagree, because the first and foremost, if you're getting behind a charity and you're doing a charitable event, but you're doing it for the betterment of you, you're doing it for the wrong reasons, bro. Get out. Get out. It's being fake. people will read right through you if you are fake. If you get behind a cause. We last week we were behind something called Choose Love. Scarlett Lewis lost her son in the Newtown shooting. And she didn't want to get into politics. She says, I'm not talking about guns. She created a program about choosing love, right? Everything we were doing when we were putting out social, whether it's Twitter, whether it's Facebook, we wanted to have a call to action plan. And the interesting thing that happened was, so last night, one of my partners must have put something out on Facebook, and there was no call to action plan. The first comment said, hey, can I still donate? That was the first comment made in that Facebook
That should
post.
be a red flag.
Yeah, I mean, we all make mistakes,
Sure.
including me. It doesn't matter. We all marketing people
Right.
who love to market, we're going to make mistakes. He probably was tired. He posted something and didn't even think about it. No big deal. Not throwing any jabs at your brother. Just showing how important having that call to action plan, because why would we want to miss out on $10, $15, $20 on such a great cause, right?
Well, I mean, when you said that, I think about all the posts that I did yesterday and how many times I did not have a call to action on it.
Well, that's why, because we have to be so conscientious on every step that doesn't matter how good we are, we're always making mistakes, right?
Right. Okay, so we've
But that was only one. I mean,
Yeah,
how many others could you have?
sure. Oh, yeah, I mean, you can, my gosh. I mean, we can go into,
Well, you brought up blogging, right?
right.
I was reading a blog last night of an agency who I adore, and the first thing I thought of was like, wow, you wrote this great blog. It's branded. It says a lot. It's sincere. It really kind of kicked me right in the gut. It was a very well written, branded blog. There was not a call to action plan to get behind the cause, and but I did make a mental note that I was going to reach out to them and say, hey, you got to put a call to action here. I would have acted. You got me with that blog. You got me good, and that was it. It made me move enough that I wanted to do something, but you didn't make it easy enough for me to do it.
Right. Okay, so I've got someone on my mind here that they do a phenomenal job with call to actions, and that is Rocket Referrals. Rocket Referrals helps insurance agents increase their reviews and testimonials, helps them understand who their detractors are, helps them understand who they're the ones who are their biggest influencers, and they do a phenomenal job. Every single email that they send out, they don't send out one email, they don't send out one communication that does not have call to actions in it.
I totally agree with you. Rocket Referrals has a strategy, sticks by the strategy, and they rinse and repeat that strategy day in and day out with all of their emails. Not just their emails, their social platform too. They do a great job. You know, one thing we didn't touch upon in call to actions, and we're really focused on this in our agency in the past year, is finding a way to become more profitable with our billing system. And a lot of people would say that's kind of crazy. What do you mean by that? Well, we stopped mailing bills. We no longer bill people by mail. And I shouldn't say that. It's 98, 99%. When I say stop, our focus is how are we going to send bills out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we electronically send bills out, and we use e-pay policy for them to pay. And the most fascinating thing is we are getting paid without spending money. $7.55 is what it costs to send a bill out for the average agency. I don't know if people realize that. I read an article. Todd Sorrell sent it over to me he's the owner of ePay Policy, and when we were using it, I said, I wonder how much I'm saving every time we're electronically sending that out. And he's like, well, countrywide, and he sent me a study, it showed that it's $7.55. The great thing about it is we electronically send it. We have a link in there from ePay Policy, which is so easy to use. They pay it and they love it. People are paying instantaneously. We got paid last week, and one of the girls said, hey, we're having a hard time collecting, and I'm going to send an email. And I'm going to just put a little pressure on. 17 minutes later, that bill was paid.
Yeah. And sometimes call to actions don't work very well. And this was an improvement
Oh, yeah.
of your first call to action,
Sure.
which was costing you a lot more money, and
Not
probably
just
not
not
as
more
effective.
money, but how much time, and time is money, we all know that, right?
Right.
But how much time are we taking away from our teammates that we're not selling? And I think when people say, hey, how are you going to grow in a growth strategy, right? The more effective your call to actions, right? Being highly effective is going to leave more time to sell more policies. And I will say this has saved a tremendous amount of time, saved us a ridiculous amount of money. Now, after we collect that money from that client, when we go to pay an MGA, we can click a button through ePay for 50 cents. It's paid instantaneously, and it drops right into our accountant system.
Mm-hmm.
Why every agency, and why I'm hounding this is it is a call to action, right? You're sending out an email with a bill. If you just send an email with a bill, do you expect them to print it and mail it to you? It's not going to happen.
Well, I mean, I was just telling you today, we had an email campaign go out to several hundred agents, and we have been brainstorming on how do we make this easier? How do we take the barrier to entry away from insurance agents so that they can be a part of BriteBee.com with a click, and with that first call to action versus taking them through, oh, now you got to go to the website, now you got to sign in, now you got to do this, you got to do this, you got to do this. And we actually created a way that they could click it and it's done, and it's changed our whole email campaign. It's changed the whole way we connect with the agent.
The key factor is, in one of our last podcasts, what we talk about tracking, right?
Right.
If you're tracking and understanding what's happening with your emails, you can fix what's not working. But if
Right.
you're not tracking, you can't fix anything because you don't understand. You don't understand what's not working.
And
right?
it's not just tracking on the email and the click rate and everything else. It's tracking and understanding how and where they're going after that. So if they're going to the website, how then are they responding on the website? Are they bouncing right when you get there? Do you have the relevant content that's needed to convert them or to help them take the next call to action? And I think that's where we just get lost sometimes. I mean, I get lost all the time. There's so many different things that we have to do. You just kind of forget the process.
Well, that's why marketing is an evolving process, right? We're always evolving, but we always have to think marketing, everything we do. And if we really took a step back yesterday when we talked about marketing, isn't everything marketing?
Mm-hmm.
Everything's marketing. When you got up this morning and you got dressed, you're marketing yourself. Why did you wear what you wore today? When you bought your car, every day you get in your car and you drive, you're marketing yourself. Why do you drive the car you drive? Why do you drive the color of the car you drive?
So, I mean, my Honda Pilot, I mean, what does that market?
It's a mommy car.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so I think we've got a pretty good idea on call to actions, and there's probably plenty more and people can leave more in the comment section of YouTube, and that's a call to action if you don't know. And if you have not, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That's a call to action. It's a call to action. Like, thumbs up. Okay, don't give me a thumbs down. Just a thumbs up. And then comment and tell us some more call to actions that you have been working on and you have seen successful or you're struggling with and you're seeing them as failures, and maybe we can help you out there.
I got another call to action.
Yeah.
In the comments below, tell me or tell us who has a funnier accent. Is it my accent coming from between Boston and New York, or is it his, who was born in Texas and lives in Oklahoma?
We'll see.
Brain dump.
Brain dump.